This is NDTV, and you're watching Classics.
Hi and welcome to Eye to Eye. Well, tonight's guest is a very, very special guest. She's been quite a mystery, actually. Not a mystery, a top secret, an international top secret. Well, tonight I'm going to let the secret out. This guest tonight is like a carbon copy of me. I mean, she could have been me. I mean, can you imagine how lucky? But you can't get even more luckier than that. But yes, she is top secret because she scientifically is the first clone ever. The secret is out now. Me. The first clone ever was me. Did you get it, people? Well, if you haven't, so let's go ahead. The special guest for tonight is me, and her name is Raveena Tandon, and I am going to bring her on to you now. So, hi Raveena, and welcome to Eye to Eye. Thanks for having me on the show. How did you get into movies? We heard you were not interested in movies, and a lot of people, claim that when you were in school and you were offered a lot of films and you kept saying no. So how did that sort of come around, and how did no become yes, and when and where? Yes, it's right that I was offered a lot of movies when I was in school, and I did say no because I'd actually never ever thought that I'd get into movies. Even though, I mean, my family has been a film family, I consider myself being born in the movies. My dad was a very, very successful producer-director. He made a lot of good movies, and so I've seen studios and films and actors since, I think, in Hindi like they say, jab se hosh samala hai. And somewhere down the line, I think, everyone sort of took it for granted that maybe because she's in films, she's going to get into films, but nobody, I think, really ever thought that I would. And one fine day, I think I was in... I'll actually tell you how I got my first break, because that is how it led into going into movies. I was still doing giving my 9th standard exams, and I was at home one day, and suddenly I get a telephone call, and a lady called Uma, who happened to be Shantanu Shaurya's assistant. Shantanu Shaurya is a very, very famous photographer. And she calls me out of the blue and says, "Are you Raveena Tandon?" And I say, "Yes, I am." And she says, "Have you heard of Mr. Shantanu Shaurya?" And I say, "No." This was really mean, but yes, I did say no because, I was in the 9th. And she said, "We just want to photograph you, and we've heard a lot about you, and are you interested in modeling?" I said, "See, so far I have not done anything, and I don't know whether I can or I should. I'll have to ask Papa." I sound like a senior actress, I know, anyway. But I did say that I would have to ask Dad. And she said, "All right, you please ask." And then I just asked her one question. I said, "How do you know what I look like? I mean, how can you just randomly call someone and say, 'Do you want to get into modeling?'" She said, No, we've heard that you've got a sweet face and whatever, kind of thing. And would you like to?" So anyway, story goes, I asked Dad, and Dad said, "Listen, it's your choice." And I said, "Papa, just let me give it a shot. Let's see if it works," and this and that. It took a little bit of convincing. And then, as usual, the good old daddy lectures that, there's good and bad in every line. It's how you hold on to your self-respect and dignity, and how you project yourself. After all that lectures and everything, I think I said yes to Shantanu. And I did my first ever photo session with him. Not knowing that there'd be an outcome from those pictures. Those pictures went round, and that's how I got my first ads. Got into advertising, did 1 year of post and pre-production work. Then I started getting a lot of film offers, and I still didn't want to because I wanted to complete my education. And eventually, I was working with Prahlad Kakkar, who's an ad filmmaker. And he kept saying that, you're getting it on a platter. There are millions all over this world and this country who want to get into movies, and you're getting on a platter. You should just say yes. And I think the first film offer was, I did say no to a lot of film offers, but the first one that I really considered, I just sort of made up my mind, okay, that the next big offer I get, I'm convinced now, I think I'll just say yes, and let's see, I have nothing to lose. I mean, it's not that it's like my be-all, end-all, that if I don't do movies, I'm going to die. It was just like a hobby. It just started as gigs. And it's not really short and sweet. The story's been pretty long, but it's been a long career as well. And here I am. Well, that was very interesting, but how did you do your first film? We heard your co-star was not so favorite and now you're best friends, that's Salman Khan. And how did the first film come about and what were your experiences in the film? Well, my first film was Patthar Ke Phool, and like I said, I just started movies and I just said yes, and actually it just came about. I was I just finished my 10th standard exams, and I was hanging out with a lot of friends, and Maine Pyar Kiya was the biggest hit, and I got this offer from Sippy Saab, Mr. G.P. Sippy, and they called up my dad and spoke with him and said, you know, we really want her in this movie and you must let her. And my father said, listen, I'm okay with her. It's her decision whether she ultimately wants to do movies or no. And I was just hanging with my friends and I said, guess what? I got an offer with Salman Khan, the Salman Khan. And I think more than me, it was my friends who were really, really excited. And they were like, no, you can't just let this go. Please do the film so that we can just come and hang with you on your shoot. And just like sort of, you know, lech at Salman. And I was like, all right. And next day I said yes, and I said yes one day and the next day I was shooting. I mean, it was that immediate. So there was no like acting classes or dancing classes or, you know, the general polishing that happens, which nowadays kids come completely prepared. It's shocking at how, you know, besides being on a competitive level, they just superstars overnight, and it's so fantastic. I think my generation of actresses, we evolved along the way. We just came in completely like, you know, with dumb permed hair and not even eyebrows being done and, you know, things like that, and we just learnt along the way. And that was it. I immediately after school I did Patthar Ke Phool. Salman was a complete brat during the film shoot, and considering that our families knew each other, and you know, our parents had worked with each other and everything, and he and me just didn't get along, and we'd fight after every shot, and I just about hated him, and I think he hated me equally. We'd fight over everything. We'd fight over bubblegums, we'd fight over just about everything, that why is he standing like that and why am I not like, you know, standing like this. And it was just pure horror to work with him in that first film. But today, yes, after so many years, and we've both matured, and I think we were complete kids at that time. We've actually formed a very, very special bond, and he'll always be very special to me. He was in my first film, my first hero, and in fact the first production that I did. He was, I actually wanted him in the movie, and he did a guest appearance for me in my first film as producer. So I think that that special bond and friendship has developed along the way, and that was my experiences the first film.